Up next, we have World Creator Factory by Unsorted Guy. And I'm already in here, so let's just go into Forge mode to check his launch platforms. Check his... Yeah, that's good. Good. Just want to see where we are. Oh, when I first saw the pictures, I thought we were on the Eden Skybox. Just by the pictures, I didn't really have a good look at them, but so there we go. So let's have a run in. Very good. That's a bit of a problem right there. I think you need to raise your invisible floor up a bit because it's non-existent. There we go. Yeah, that's a problem right there. You need to put an invisible floor down, otherwise I'm assuming there's something you unfinished. Like, yeah, I'm assuming you have an invisible floor going on that's supposed to be on here. It just isn't applied right now because everything else looks like it's normal and ready to go. That's so cool. It's a bit weird with the predator effect, but nice. Okay. Yeah, so it's hard. Oh, I hate that when you're in monitor mode and you spawn out. And of course there's no kill volumes out here, so I can't. Damn it. Bear with me. I'll be in the court in 3 seconds. Okay. Yeah, it's an unfinished court. You've got to finish it. You've got a big hole in the ceiling here, yeah, so that ceiling has to be plugged up. It's bugging me, so I'll just do it right now. There we go, plugged up. How'd you like that trick? Put it right into position. Everything else, it's this is a bit of a problem. You see that the jump height in Grifball is considerably higher than in Forge mode, and you're gonna bump your head jumping off of these in Grifball. I'm absolutely sure of it. This vent here is gonna have to be moved back. So this whole wall from here up is going to have to be moved back because players are going to bump their heads on that. You can jump almost twice as high in Grifball as you can in Forge mode. So that's definitely going to be a problem. People are going to be banging their heads when they jump into that. And it's not repeated on the other side, so it's not symmetrical. It did a pretty good job on everything else, except once again the floor. Everything else seems to be pretty standard and taken from templates. Yeah, just a few little odds and ends. So also with these walls here, I always recommend you do your containment with 128 by 1. Whoop, didn't mean to grab that. 128 by 128 by 128 invisible blockers, which I can't seem to spawn here for some reason. Sorry, I got distracted looking up and seeing these flashing things up here. Oh, I know what that is. I don't know where the center of it is, but that's it's obviously on a pivot, on a joint. So it kind of bounces around. Looks like it's flying too. Yeah, I can't see where it is. It's probably way up high or way down low. But there's a this is on a hinge. Yeah, I don't know where they are. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter for this. Okay, so where were we? Right. Containment. Containment use 128, 128, 128 cubes. Sorry, I'm all over the place here, but I'll focus. Okay. So for your containment, this is the piece you're going to use for the wall. Instead of the 128, 128 by 1, you want 128 by 128 by 128, and it's very simply. It's the better piece to use. I'm trying to magnetize it to this, and it just doesn't want to go. So the height on that's good. So this one here, you just turn it 6 degrees in and stick it to a magnet to the corner there, and turn your magnets off, and then just slide it over like so. Turn this one 6 degrees, same deal. Yeah, actually this one's gonna have to come over a bit to match your wall here. And it's gonna come over anyway, like so. So see, it's the same containment, but now if these blocks shift, you won't be able to toss the ball out, because when you use the 128, 128 by ones, if they shift, it opens up little holes in the wall or gaps in the wall that you can toss the ball out, and that won't happen with this way. So as I always say, test your clamber in game to make sure that there's no dead zones on your clamber walls. They look pretty good, but sometimes where there's a joint, you'll get a dead zone where there's a joint. These seem to be okay, but just test them in game anyhow, just to make sure they all work fine. There's a bit of a moire pattern here, but it's not really in a line of sight for players, and it's not that bad because it's not like it doesn't contrast the background too bad. There's a bit of a visual distraction there. Yeah, I'd say that is it's a little more of a visual distraction than I thought it was. Just this fence piece is pretty bad for a moire pattern. So, which is the patterns you get when you look at it and you're moving, and it conflicts with the grid. Its grid conflicts with the actual grid of the game, or the grid of your screen or your monitor. Creates a moire pattern. What I would recommend is just go to this type of railing in its place. And speaking of this, you've got some perches here. They're not very big, but I think you can stand on the one. Yeah, just barely. Yeah, just barely. Yeah, I see how you blocked it off. Just bring that out just a bit more, just so there's nothing. Just bring it out just until there's no pieces sticking through, and that's fine for that. So that's good containment. Spawns look fine. They say it almost looks like you had an invisible block or floor on it, and then it's been removed for some reason. But got to get that back on there. Get the invisible block or floor. And if you're not sure of how to do it, just look up my video called Grifball template on Eden, and the last quarter of the video, so there's a tutorial on how to make the invisible blocker floors for a Grifball court, and it's really simple. It takes maybe 2 minutes to make a complete floor. So I think that's it for this. So just make all the changes I've indicated, and make all the changes I've indicated, and make sure your clamber ledge works where all these joints are and these overlays, like where these pieces overlap. That could cause a problem. I haven't seen it yet, but you just have to make sure there's no dead zones on your clamber wall. It looks to be good, but thoroughly test it. Okay, it really ticks players off when they go to clamber on the wall and it cancels it like that right there. See, it canceled my clamber. Yeah, see, so you do have a dead zone here. Right, this piece right here it has a dead zone. But the easiest way to counter that is like so. And I've done this a bunch of times, so we're going to duplicate that wall over there. And I'm going to turn it 180 degrees. Okay? So you'll recognize this is like that's just like the back wall there. Okay? So it's just like your containment wall, almost exactly. Except what it's going to be now, it's going to be your clamber wall, and we're just gonna line that up with that. Okay, and then we're gonna bring it out a bit, and we're gonna bring it up a bit. I don't know if you can see that in the screen, but your clamber wall is now embedded deep inside this invisible blocker. So we'll ungroup it, and then same with the other ones. We're just going to slide these over and magnetize the corners so they aren't actually overlapping, they're just touching corners like so. Same with this one here. Okay, now we'll go try this clamber ledge again, and it works fine now. Or does it? I think it's just the height thing. That's all it is. Yeah, it should be fine. Yeah, it looks like it's fine. I think it just because I've raised the wall up, it's a bit out of reach now. But yeah, clamber works on that fine now. So that's how to clean up your clamber wall if you do have dead zones on it. So hope that helps. Make these repairs, and yeah, you see those fences don't cause the same issue when they're turned upright like that. Oh, I'm just noticing now. Just noticing a little bit of frame rate due to all of that. It could be due to the scripts moving that. Grass is notorious for causing frame rate issues. Let's see, because there's no grass coming out now. There's still just a little bit of frame rate. It's just minor, so you're gonna have to reduce the piece count on some things in this area. You'll have to figure out what that is, but something is causing. I love that. That's great. Something is causing frame rate. That's weird. It's not till you get right here. Yeah, it has to be the grass, because it got worse for a second there. Yeah, definitely. Your grass is causing frame rate, just so you know. So maybe spread those out so there's only one of them in view at any one time. Don't see you have a whole bunch of them coming by now. Maybe just have one and just have it repeat, because it seems the more grass pieces you have out there, the worse the stuttering gets. It's not horrible, but it has to be completely gone for Grifball. So anyhow, that's it for this court, and if no more submissions come in, it's highly unlikely, but this could be the last submission. But I'm sure there's going to be a dozen people that want to. There's going to be a dozen people that submit late. So yeah, so I don't know if that test the wall hop out in game, as I said, make sure it works perfectly fine and there's no dead zones. I've repeated that about 9 times, but oh well. So that's it. So make all those changes and message us at Forge Hub in the contest thread. Let us know you've updated the court, and we'll move your court on to round 2 of the judging. Okay, thank you very much.